It's 8:38 p.m. on a Friday night. And we're getting hyped because it's going to be Danny Dimes versus the Heineke Hive coming up Sunday. And we're going to talk about it next. No, right now on Command This.
Whoop, whoop. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, December 2nd. December 2nd. Hey, we're here to preview. This is our enemy intel session previewing the New York Giants coming up on Sunday in the Meadowlands. Let's talk about it, fellas. How we feeling?
December 2nd. God damn.
It's already December 2nd. Like,
wait,
where has
we have a winning record still?
Who'd have thunk? You know what? We go back to, I don't know, we were 1-4. Was it 1-4?
You wanted everybody fired.
We wanted everybody fired.
I mean, that was y'all.
Everybody. That was me. I will gladly admit I wanted everyone fired too. No bullshit. Wanted everyone fired.
No bullshit.
Man. We had our boy Terrence was first. What's up, T? Mean Green said hit that like button. Woo woo. That's right. Well, let's get on with it, fellas. Let's get on with the show for this evening. How y'all feeling tonight? Dev, how you doing, man?
Feel pretty good, I guess.
Living life to the fullest.
Yeah, working out a little bit, man. But that's about it. Nothing much.
Yeah, not much. Chilling.
Yeah.
So we're going up to New York this weekend. It's the New York Giants. We haven't seen them all season, and the scheduling gods, you know how they do it. It's call it what you want. We got the Giants, we got the bye week, and we got the Giants. I don't know how that works out with scheduling for whatever reason, but hey, it is what it is. Monty Montez, what's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in. Alan Hester from Facebook, what's up, brother? We are doing well. It's beginning of December. We are 23 days away from Christmas.
Christmas.
By
the way, once again, man, I'm going to say this every time. Gremlins, greatest Christmas movie ever.
On that
Argue
note,
with your mama.
We have a bye week coming up, which means barbershop. I think one of the topics is going to be top 5 Christmas movies of all time. So tune in. We will be there. Also, fellas, is it worth doing another enemy intel on the Giants again in 2 weeks from now?
Oh, wow. We could have 2 barbershops in a row.
That's what I'm saying. We could have 2 barbershops in a row. Maybe go do a top 5 Tuesday, then do a barbershop, whatever. Ronnie White from Facebook says, let's get this win.
Y'all don't want to hear my argument for Batman Returns.
Man, my wife thinks the Godfather's a Christmas movie, so we had this argument.
Isn't it though? Isn't it? Maybe.
You're gonna have to talk to me on that one.
I don't know. I don't count it. I mean, that's like saying Forrest Gump is a sports movie. Because if we're saying what's the greatest sports movie ever, Teen Wolf wins if we're counting that.
No, we had this top 5 Tuesday. Wolf
isn't even the best.
We had this top 5 Tuesday. Come on now. Come on.
Sports movie, Teen Wolf. Fuck everybody else's opinion.
No, let's get some of these comments here because we're talking. I don't know how we got on Christmas movies, but Dev. All right, Tony Shivers from Facebook. What's up, brother? How you doing? Bailey Stalling says Gremlins.
Hey, Gremlins definitely best Christmas movie ever.
Joseph Howe Jr. said this schedule could be and is usually much worse. Yeah, Bailey Stalling says I'm losing faith. Joseph Howe says Christmas Story is number 1.
Hey, I watched the Christmas Story, the new one that they just brought out. I liked it. I ain't gonna lie, it was cheesy as shit.
I haven't seen it.
It's pretty good. I like. My girlfriend hated it. By the way,
I'm with Mean Green. I'm with Terrace. Die Hard. It ain't Christmas till I see Hans Gruber falling off the top of Nakatomi Plaza.
Die Ford is the best one though. The one with Samuel Jackson.
Ho ho ho! Now I have a machine gun.
What's the one with Samuel Jackson in it?
That's the one that we were going through New York City, right?
4, right?
3, I think.
Die Hard
with a Vengeance.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
4.
No, Die Hard 2 was Dulles Airport. Die Hard 3 was Die Hard with a Vengeance. I think it was 3.
3. The one with Samuel Jackson, the best one, and that ain't even the best Christmas movie. It's Gremlins.
It's, you know what? I'm gonna go back and watch Gremlins. But I'm a Die Hard person personally as my number one, along with Billy Stallings. Alan Hester, do you think we can make the playoffs for the Commanders? Absolutely, I think so. And I think we got to go. What did we say, fellas? 3-2 in this next 5.
3-2, I think.
That puts you at 10-7. 10-7 and gives you a chance.
I think the key to this, really, the key to us getting to the playoffs, we have to sweep the Giants.
Yeah,
because that puts you behind the 8 ball because you only have to win 1 out of the next 3. So let's talk about these Giants coming up because that's the most important one.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'll drop a bomb about a Christmas movie I have never seen.
What?
You want to hear about it now? I can talk about it now. What is one of the most seminal Christmas movies ever made? Classic.
Christmas Story, Charlie Brown Christmas,
Wonderful Life.
What'd you say, Dev?
A Wonderful Life.
I've never seen that movie.
I've never seen it either.
It's good.
I have no desire to see it.
It's good though.
Scrooged.
You know what? Do you know why I don't have a desire to see that movie?
Why?
Because everyone thinks I'm an asshole because I haven't seen the movie.
I haven't seen it either. I just not into. I don't want to see it.
I love classic movies, like I love a lot of the old Hollywood.
You like Gone with the Wind
movies?
No.
Yeah, it's about like
Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. It's
the Sound of Music.
Sound of Music.
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
Like 12 Angry Men is one of my favorite movies.
You don't like the Sound of Music? It's awesome. You're tripping. A deer, a female, a deer. Ray, I'll drop a golden sun.
Let's call it about Christmas, and let's talk Commanders, and maybe at the end when we throw the music on, we'll talk Christmas again. We'll have a whole episode on this, so this is just a teaser. We'll talk Christmas movies. Thank you, Dev. Yeah.
Sound of Music.
Topics. Joseph Howe says, I can't understand how Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It's like saying Trading Places is a Christmas movie. You could make the argument that it is a Christmas movie.
People have.
I don't care about them. Gremlins is number one. It's definitely a Christmas movie. They get the Mogwai as a Christmas present on Christmas. In the wintertime, they attack on Christmas. It's the whole thing's Christmassy, man.
Oh, I don't disagree. I just want to go back and watch it. It's been so long. My favorite was The New Batch, but I'll go back and watch it.
And we're starting already in the also, comments.
Yeah. Terrence says, I think the Commanders make it because they play Washington. Yeah, I think he means New York.
So the Commanders make it because New York plays Washington.
Yeah, and Philly twice.
Philly twice. That's brutal.
Yep. Yeah. Sure is. And Joseph Howe still talking Christmas movie.
That's the same one from before.
It is. Kenny Cumberledge, what's up, bro? Says give Tyler Heineke his credit. We got to give him credit. But I will say, Ron, credit for managing the game well. Even Ron says, what do you think about Taylor and those interceptions? He's like, listen, that's Taylor. Taylor being Taylor. He acknowledged Taylor has limitations. Did he not? He said that's Taylor being Taylor.
That's Taylor being Taylor. Taylor being Taylor is going to bite us in the ass if he keeps this up.
Yeah,
he's got to be better about these things.
We're going against the number one blitz team in the league right now.
Then again,
you just got to clean it up.
The last time we played the Giants, watch this transition. The last time we played the Giants, we threw the ball 18 times, ran the ball 36 for 220 or 37 times for 226 yards. I don't think the formula has changed for how we can win this game. 18 passes. I'm not giving, unless a quarterback goes like 15 for 18, I'm not really looking at him like, wow, you really are a difference maker. Last game, Taylor Heineke played against the Giants. He was 9 of 18 for 120 yards. We had 99 net yards passing that game.
99.
I think that's what you're going to see this game too. I really don't think this is going to be bombs away for Taylor. I don't see it.
Yeah, well, real quick, we talked about this a while ago about making the playoff picture. We talked about this last episode. Let's talk about it now. This is where it stands. If the playoffs were to be today, this right here is where this team stands. We have the 7th seed. So you got to watch these other teams. Don't just be a homer of Washington. You got to watch these other teams and see where it goes. Because just as last week, Seattle was ahead of San Francisco, and you saw that flip flop. with that loss over the Seattle's loss from the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. That was big.
And look at Brady and the Bucks sitting at 5-6 in the 4th position, but they're leading the NFC South because the NFC South is so bad. So take it for what it's worth.
Remember when we were there's a time that Washington was the team of the South. Can you imagine if realignment had happened then? We'd be winning the NFC South or the NFC South right now.
Yeah, and then along that note, I mean, that would put Dallas in the NFC South. It shouldn't be the NFC East.
I know. The realignment was a great idea until they were like, no, we're still keeping Dallas in the East. I'm like, what?
Right.
I get it. You want to preserve rivalries, but damn.
So that's the playoff picture. Let's get in and talk into some Giants. Let's look at their stats. Let's look at their numbers. Here we go. Let's take a look at the games they won so far. Starting off, they beat the Titans 21-20. They beat the Panthers 19-16. Lost to the Cowboys 16-23. That was the Cooper Rush Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me.
Yes.
Beat the Bears 20-12. Beat the Packers 27-22. Beat the Ravens 24-20. Beat the Jaguars 23-17. Lost to the Seahawks 13-27. Had their bye. Beat the Texans 24-16. That put them at 7-2, and they've lost the last 2. Lost to the Lions 18-31. Lost to the Cowboys 20-28, and that was the Dak Prescott Cowboys. So here we are at the Washington Commanders at the New York Giants in the Meadowlands. New York Giants lost 2 in a row. I think we had the momentum. I think they're imploding, they're self-destructing, but that's just me. Look at their passing yards throughout all of these wins. Only one of these games is worth a damn in passing, and that was versus the Lions, where they had 324 yards passing.
That's because they were behind.
Everything else has been pedestrian. Just like Taylor Heineke's passing yardage. Pedestrian.
Now
look at their rushing yards.
Look at that Bears game, 71 yards passing.
Yeah.
But they ran for 262. See, here's what's interesting. As you'll notice, 238, 103, 167, 262, 125, 83. 236 against the Jaguars, 78. 191 against the Texans. Well, it's the Texans. 89-90. There's a downward trend with a few spikes up as far as their run game goes. Like, teams are obviously playing more on the run. The teams that can stop the run or the teams that can't stop the run, they're still running over. The teams that have something resembling a defense, and I'm actually including Detroit in that sentence because they only held 89 yards. Yeah, I mean, I think that teams have caught on. There's a lot more tape on what the Giants are doing. The Giants have a more effective running game because they have Saquon, but I don't think that their run game is as dynamic as, say, in Atlanta, where they have so many different threats.
Yeah.
Giants live and die by Saquon Barkley.
That's right. So before we get into the stats of the individual players, Deb, we'll start with you. In your own words, and those listening in the comments, tell us down in the chat, who do you guys think the 2022 New York Giants are in a nutshell in one sentence? Go leave that in the chat. Deb, let's start with you, man. How would you summarize?
I think I heard somewhere on the radio today that they're in the top 1 or 2 in blitz. So they're going to attack on defense. This is where everybody who's on the Heineke bandwagon say where he earns his money is because he's mobile. So we'll see, man, on this match. So they're an attacking team. They're a team that likes to run a lot. They take care of the ball this year. One thing about Danny Dimes is different than last year. Last year he was last time he was healthy anyways, he was leading the league in fumbles. So I don't think he has many lost fumbles this year.
Right.
So they're similar to us. They play sound defense and they run the ball. I think they're a little banged up on defense. I think they're a little banged up on the line, but they definitely attack on defense. They blitz. I think, like I said, tops in the league. I think in blitz.
Right, and we'll get to their stats in a second because I don't know what they're fully at right now.
Oh, I got them.
Yeah,
I got them. There's an interesting correlation here. Dev hit on it real big, and I can actually statistically point this out too. But there's also one difference. So we'll go from that.
Joseph House said, I saw in an interview, and apparently we were supposed to be a running team from the beginning. B-Rob's incident delayed the plans. Could be so.
I think that's I saw that interview, and I think that was covering for the fact that Scott got a new toy with Carson and tried to throw the ball 40, 50 times a game.
Yes, sir.
And you don't want to throw your coach under the bus. It's like, yeah, that was stupid. We should have been running from the start. Why? Because we were a run team last year. Well, we tried doing that with Taylor last year early on. We tried to be a passing team. And I was like, oh, we can't do that. So let's run the ball. And then we became effective. Running play action is a quarterback's best friend. It's an offensive line's best friend. You have to have an effective run game to do that. But so I think that I saw that interview, and I really think that he was throwing some protection for Scott being really questionable early in the season. So happy that he figured it out. Whether he figures out a winning formula with Carson, with Taylor, I don't care. I still think that you can't really make a comparison between two quarterbacks because they were basically running two completely different offenses.
Yeah.
But as I've been saying, you can win with Taylor. You just can't put the game in his hands for 4 quarters.
Right.
Let him do those things that he does in the last 2 minutes, last 4 minutes, whatever. But otherwise, if you need to, otherwise, limit his ability to hurt you. But when Taylor does Taylor things, and run the ball. Give him that play action because he does well off the play action. So you let Taylor do that. I'd like to see some design runs with Taylor, damn it. If we're going to have him back there, and we're going to talk about his mobility, we need to see, even if it's just 1 or 2 a game, it makes those other RPOs we run more of a threat. It makes defenses pause more because the quarterback now is a threat. Whereas I think a lot of times we do those and teams look at us like there's no way he's keeping that because he doesn't.
Yeah. Brent Knuckles from Facebook. What's up, brother? Thanks for joining.
Brent.
Tony says, looks like Giants run game slowing down. Do you think Barkley might be wearing down? Could be. He's in a contract year too, so he's got to perform. Contract year, if I'm not mistaken, injury, coming off the injury. Terrence says, those stats are brought to you by Pro Football Reference. That's right. Pro Football Reference.
Hey, why not?
Why not? My prediction, kind of like Dev, I'm not prediction. My summary of the 2022 Giants without looking at all the numbers in depth is kind of like what you said, Dev. They are Washington, B- rated Washington Commanders. Run focused. Quarterback plays a little bit lacking. I say we have much better wide receivers, and their defense is nowhere near close as ours. So I think if we're talking about identity, we're a run team, they're a run team, but our defense should be much better than theirs. So,
I also think we have a few more offensive weapons. We can't take advantage of our weapons. I think they just don't have
one. This comment right here.
And that's
Joseph House says Daboll is coaching around Jones's deficiencies. Kind of like we are.
See the way I see
comment of the night from Joseph Howe Jr.
I agree with that.
Big strong comment right there.
But I mean, if you watch the Giants play, it honestly doesn't feel like this. It feels like the reason they're good. Also, obviously Saquon, but it seems like Jones makes a lot of plays. Like if you watch the games, he makes a lot of plays. They don't have any receivers though. I'm not scared of any of those guys, but definitely, like he'll make some plays. Like Mariota made some plays. Mariota's trash.
He did, but we weren't ready for a lot of that RPO though.
Man, I'm just saying this guy's better than Mariota at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, this year.
Kenny says bandwagon always Redskins fans aren't happy with when we win. Taylor Heineke is a winner. I don't know. If you're not happy when we win, I don't think you're a fan. I haven't seen anyone who's not a fan of the team when we win. It's okay to be critical of the play of the players. That's perfectly fine. You can't just sit there, oh, we won, and someone played like shit. You can't do that. I mean, if someone plays bad, they play bad. Even the coach said Taylor's play has been bad, but we're winning, and that's great. And
I'm giving you my reaction to that
John
comment right
Allen,
there.
even John Allen said it. Did you guys see John Allen's press conference or John Allen's comment in the locker room after the game? He said, "Stop right now. We cannot let this winning not let us focus on getting better." He called the offense out. He called the defense out. I know he was calling the offense out for sure. While we were talking, I'll pull the clip up.
He alluded to the defense, parts of the defense, but he was really alluding to the offense.
Yeah. Cody Jones.
And it's true. I mean, if we had a more if we had a more dynamic passing game, it would lose things up for the running game. We grind out yards. Now, granted, we're really good at doing that right now.
I almost feel bad for Wentz, man, because I feel like our record wouldn't be any different. Yeah. I mean, I'm being real honest about that too. I don't feel like we would have lost any games or won any difference. Yeah, but I do respect the fuck out of Heineken. I'm rolling with him.
I do too. And you know what?
Hey, have I said this shirt?
Check it.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that, but there's a reason why. It's funny.
Great idea, by the way.
Fantastic idea. It's perfect.
Because it's true.
F it. Terry down there somewhere. Sorry.
Hey, look, Samuel's open for a first down. Gibson's open for a first down. Fuck it. Terry down there somewhere.
He's down there somewhere.
That's
sorry.
That's the problem I have.
Yeah. Terrence says, desperate team looking for an identity. Several players looking for a contract. They played to their strengths great in the beginning, but started to cool off now. The team has been transparent lately. And they are a reason a lot of the NFC East or a lot of the strength of schedules are inflated. I mean, for a while there, what were they? 6-1? I don't 6-1, 7-1.
They were 7-1. They were 7-2. I know that.
Yeah, they were 7-2 at their best.
6-1 and then 7-2 when they beat the Texans.
Correct. Joseph House says the 2022 Giants are the beneficiaries of a weak schedule that's no longer weak. That's right. Billy Stallings, Heine is our Nick Foles. Oof. Gunny man, Paulie. F you, Paulie. Love you, bro. Thanks for joining Paulie. In. Monty says we winning. Ben Harlow, thank you for joining. Monty says, I respect number 4, $2 million. Come on, y'all. Yeah, I think he's outplaying his contract right now for what is he making? $2 million. He's putting up wins.
That's what he's worth.
He's putting up wins. Probably a little bit more. I think we said
a little bit more.
Not his evaluation.
He has to earn that still.
Yeah, he does.
I love this. People are literally trying to tell me he's worth $20 million.
No, stop. Just stop. All right, let's go back to these stats here. So we started talking about the win-loss record. Let's go look at team stats. Here we go. Their offense, they ranked 22nd in points for. Okay, it's all about points, right? Their offense is ranked 22nd in points for,
right,
with 22, and they're 20th in yards. Defense ranked 14th in points for, 22nd in yards.
Bend but don't break.
That's right. Passing offense, 28th. Ranked 28th in the NFL.
Do you know what's crazy is they have talk about looking like us. Their point differential is -7, and they are 7-4. Right?
Yeah.
And then you look at us. You look at us, and I just lost the damn screen. So now I'm trying to stall. We are 7-5, and we have a -3 point differential.
Yeah. They are 29th in NFL in passing touchdowns, or excuse me, they've thrown 10 passing touchdowns. So that's good for 29th in the league. Their defense is 16th in passing yardage. In the rush, their defense is 26th in yardage allowed. So their defense is very susceptible to a lot. Don't get me wrong, they're susceptible to a lot. Joseph House says, every professional quarterback makes plays. It's the ones who make them, when they have to be made, that are special. Very true.
Man, that dude, Danny Dimes, is 4-1.
Need more of them. We wouldn't be, in these tight games.
Billy Stunk says, bro, Nick Foles came in and won a Super Bowl after Wentz got hurt.
Wentz makes other teams better, makes the teams better, I guess. They said he's done it in 3 places, I think. That wasn't just
all right. Daniel Jones's stats for the year: 7-4 record, 64.6% completion rate, 2165 in yardage, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Pretty standard.
196 yards per game.
Nothing fancy whatsoever.
Actually, let's get into this. A lot of people in these comments talking about Daniel Jones is trash. He has the same yards per game as Heineke.
Ooh.
And he has a lower interception percentage. He has less interceptions in 11 games than Taylor has in 6. These are the reasons why I'm like, temper y'all's enthusiasm with our backup, because he's managing the game, but he is not winning these games. The Colts game, you could say that, but the Colts are tanking at this point. I mean, they went and got Jeff Saturday, would look good for 1 week and have been crap ever since. I like that we're using Taylor in the game manager role. I like that we're taking the game out of his hands, because if we ran him with the same game plan we ran with Wentz, that wasn't going to work. He can't. He's not built for that. He is built to be 30 passes and less a game, less than 30 passes a game. And I'm fine with that. Keep doing what we're doing.
Right.
But Daniel Jones right there. Everybody's saying, "Oh, Daniel Jones is trash." But right there, you're looking at the numbers. His numbers look very similar to Heineke, except for the interceptions. He's better there.
Here you go. Well, let's talk about it. Here's the comparison of these two gentlemen just from 2022 alone. So we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Good records. Taylor's completion percentage is just horrendous, 60.8.
Relative to the rest of the league, yes.
Right. Daniel Jones has an 89.7 rating. Taylor Heineke with the 82.7. Both averaging about the same yardage per attempt with 6.8. Number of sacks, this is where Taylor is much, much better than Daniel Jones. And this is where Taylor's ability to move around in the pocket is much, much better.
This is where play action helps you.
And we got to give him credit for this as well. Correct. So, yeah, that's their numbers. Daniel Jones played 11. Taylor Heineke has played 6. So it looks like the numbers are kind of on track to be very similar, although I'd say Taylor's touchdowns are slightly,
Taylor's got a slightly higher touchdown percentage.
Plus, you look at the run. Look at that running, though.
He's got a higher interception rate.
Look at Daniel Jones running.
Like that.
Yeah, and then let's go over to the rushing stats. Taylor has not run at all this year. That's clear, and that's one thing I think we need to see him do more. Taylor has only ran 21 attempts for 61 yards, 1 touchdown. Daniel Jones, on the other hand, 79 rushes for 451 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's an actual part of their rushing offense.
Right.
That's the difference.
Dynamic.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Let's just get to some of these comments here real quick.
So I said earlier, Daniel Jones has been one of the reasons they're winning. He's not that comment about they're winning despite him. I don't agree with. I believe he's the reason,
because he hasn't made a lot of mistakes. So you can't say they're winning in spite of him. He's
ran for almost 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. We probably don't have a running back that's done that.
Right.
And he's got completion. He's got a passer rating hovering right below 90. That's respectable.
I'm saying, man, he's part of the. Daniel Jones is probably gonna get another contract from the Giants.
Monty says, "We gonna win, fellas. Get used to it." Hey, I'm loving it.
Definitely gonna win.
No one's denying that. We just want to win better. We want to win comfortably.
Right.
That's kind of that's the reason why we had this argument. We want to win better. You don't want to just keep eking out 1-score wins, because eventually you're riding a very thin razor's edge. You want to do better.
What's that commercial field? We don't make a lot of the things you buy. We make a lot of the things you buy better. Was it like GE, General Electric, or something?
It's BASF.
Yeah, we don't make the things that you buy.
Joseph House says Jones historically turns into Rodgers when he plays us. Yes, this is why I always make the joke.
Yeah.
I pray he doesn't get he gets 79 yards rushing against us all the time.
He'll turn Lamar Jackson against.
I'm gonna find that stat before this show is over, and I'm gonna show you.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull this up because this is gonna be fun stuff. Let me get up.
Billy Stalling says, while you're doing that, Jones was drafted high for a reason. He's a manager that doesn't have the team around him. Yeah, that team is just very terribly built.
And they're hurt.
Marcus says, "What's up, family? What's up, Marcus? Edelin, go check out his Facebook group, Sports View 2 on Facebook." Monty says, "You have to be fine with winning." Hey, I'm fine too. Let's go. If we win by handing the ball off 50 times and Taylor throws once, that's a win. If we win by Taylor throwing 60 times with 10 interceptions and we win, hey, it's a win. I mean,
but we're not winning.
But we're not winning.
We're never going to win that way. Let's be real. Yeah. But, okay, so Daniel Jones versus us. 2019. Ugh, that was a bad year. Let's see. He was game 1. They won 24-3. He goes 23-31, 225, 1 tutty, 2 interceptions, 5 carries, 33 yards. Then they beat us in that Tank Bowl game, the Chase Bowl. We call it the Chase Young Bowl. They win 41-35. He goes 28-42, 352 and 5 touchdowns, and 3 rushes for 12 yards. He didn't have to run. He threw for 352 yards and 5 touchdowns. I remember that game because I remember just being so angry at the world at that game. Or everybody was happy we lost because, oh my God, we get Chase Young.
Yeah.
Then again, 2020, they beat us 20-19. He goes 12 of 19 for 112 yards and 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But then he also runs 7 times for 74 yards. Second time they played us, 23-20. That was the game that we came back that Alex Smith managed to put up a comeback and blow a game for us at the same time. 23-34, 212 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 carries, 4 yards. Then last year in the infamous double field goal game, he goes 22-32, 249, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 9 carries, 95 yards, and a touchdown. We can't have that again.
Nope.
I'll take him under 250 for sure, but I do not want him running for 95 yards. But that was actually the first time he's lost, and he did not play in that final game of the season last year where we beat the Giants 22-7. He did not play that game. Right. Jake Fromm was their starter. Which, by the way, didn't we bring him in for a cup of coffee as an emergency QB?
He's still on the team. I think he's on the practice squad. Jake from State Farm. Because remember, he looks just like Sam Howell.
Yeah, people keep confusing the two, Sam Howell and him.
Yep, they sure do. We sure do. Monty said we've been losing for years. Yes, we have. I don't think we're getting picky on how we win. A win's a win. You know, in the Vin Diesel, doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning. You know, at the end of the day, it is. But we as fans, we expect perfection. We expect quality, and any good organization.
We expect perfection with this team.
No, I mean,
we would just like to not sweat in the fourth quarter.
Yes, Joseph. We want to win without a heart attack. The Texans game was great. A great example of that.
Yes,
how we did that.
I want all of our wins to be
we
like
need
the Texans
more
game.
Of that.
Get up 20-0 early and just coast.
Yep, a dub is a dub.
Can we do that?
That's right. Yep, I think our defense is too good, Monty. I was just saying, it's just funny that he used to always get 79 yards rushing against us, but I think our defense is it's not the same defense as he faced in the past. Let's and at this point, I'd like to say thank you all for tuning in. If you're on Facebook, I posted the link already. If you do us a favor, go over to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. We much appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're also available on all your audio podcast platforms, Apple, Google, Spotify, Odyssey. Just look us up, Command This Podcast. Give this listen on a replay. Anytime. We appreciate any feedback we can get to make this show better, and we love everybody listening. Let's continue.
I just think that that the Falcons showed that if you commit to the run solely, like just put 3 guys on Allen, 2 on Payne if you got to, or vice versa, you can gain some yards. And I think if that game plan is what the Giants come in there with, Saquon Barkley is a whole lot harder to tackle than Patterson out of the backfield. And I think that also that Jones is a better runner than Mariota is this year at least. And and I think he can throw it better, even though he doesn't have the targets. So I'm concerned when you don't, like, again, We don't have our number one this year, our top corner out there, and Juice out there. We don't have Holcomb out there. You know what I'm saying? So you're filling in. You got guys guessing the holes like Bostic was the other game. If it wasn't for a battered down ball, we might all feel different about this week. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to get everybody, to look at it logically that, hey, man, this team is better than Atlanta. And Atlanta was running down our throat, man. So what do you think Saquon Barkley is going to be thinking back there? We still have to score. I think our defense is going to be okay. They were okay against Atlanta at the end of the day, but we still have to score. It was too close of a game.
Right.
We can't go in there and score 17 points or whatever we did against Atlanta against the Giants.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right, Dev. Absolutely right. So here's the rushing stats for you. So check it out, fellas. Rushing stats. Saquon Barkley, he's a force to be reckoned with. But look at Daniel Jones, like you were just talking about, Dev. 451 yards. He's averaging 6 yards a carry. Man. It's part of the offense, which is all I'm saying is you just got to watch out for it. Because like you said, Dev, he will do. Mariota kind of gashed us off and on, and Daniel Jones is better than Mariota. Plus, he's built like he's what 6'5", 6'4".
That's what he wants to do.
Saquon's on pace for over 1,500 yards.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that's
340 carry.
F the Giants, but Saquon's a great story coming off the ACL. Right? I hope Chase Young has a bounce back campaign like that. But outside of Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, they have no other rushing threats. It's plain as day. It's simple. Let's look at receptions over here on the
Saquon.
I did not expect to see that. I'm not.
I did.
Yeah.
And Darius Slayton, I think he's still hurting. Sterling Shepard's out. Darius Slayton's hurting. Wan'Dale Robinson's gone. It's going to be the Richie James and maybe Darius Slayton show on the outside.
Darius doubtful, right?
He's doubtful right now. So
Taryn says "Fly Eagles fly," and then Billy Stoggins hits him back with "Fuck the Eagles." So
right, Billy's right.
Terrence is a friend of the show. First off, we appreciate Terrence. We love
Terrence.
Terrence.
I like you.
Green.
Fuck the
He's an enemy. He's an enemy territory, and I appreciate him. Respect to you for kicking it with us on this show, man. Absolutely. But your team is another story. Abita Turner says, "Who is a tight end for the Giants? Stop him and Barkley on Dean. The Commander should win." Daniel Bellinger.
We've actually been good against the tight end this year,
which is also new. We're not used to that either, and I think that's the increased play of the secondary, believe it or not. But
why don't we just go get Dante Hightower, man? This is bothering me.
Cam Curl. Joseph Howell says, if we don't have a plan for Jones and Barkley, we deserve a struggle. Pattern analysis tells me, trend analysis tells me, Jack Del Rio, how this defense prepared because they've been prepared since William Jackson.
Eagles ran down their throat.
Got benched or got hurt.
Not the Eagles, but the Falcons ran down our throat. Pause.
Our damn defensive back communication has improved dramatically since William Jackson was traded.
Right.
Man, your number one tackler get taken out, man.
Yeah,
it's a rough.
It is rough.
Tony says, if St. Juice missed another game, at least New York Giant doesn't have scary wide receivers. Like I said before on other people's live streams, right. if there's a game for St. Juice to miss, it's this one.
Right.
We're not he's gonna be okay to sit out. Let him sit out this game, hit the bye week, bring him back for the next Giants game.
And you know what? This is actually good. I mean, you're getting Christian Holmes some quality game reps as well.
Yep.
I know we don't want to talk about that in the middle of a playoff hunt.
What's Castro Fields at? What's he doing?
Who?
Castro Fields, or name is? We got from this cornerback.
I don't know.
Not playing. No, I think Christian Holmes, I think that he's one of those guys. He's got a lot of raw talent. And if you're going to refine that and get some game tape without it being like an absolute disaster, this is the team you want to play. I'm not so worried about their passing game. But I'm going to worry about their run game until we stop it because hey, there's been a couple teams that run on us. Chicago ran on us, and Atlanta ran on us. And I think Chicago's run game is a lot more of what we'll see from the Giants because Justin Fields was getting his yards, and so were other guys. And I think you will see something similar out of the Giants against us. You won't see what you saw against the Falcons, but you'll see like the Bears
Right.
Game.
Joseph Howe says the question is, how is the Giants O-line in pass protection? Well, let's just take a look there, Joseph. This is from Pro Football Focus. It says they are ranked 30th. They were up from last week, 1. You can see their personnel. It says rookie Evan Neal should return to the lineup this week at right tackle. He struggled so far, allowing 5 sacks. Andrew Thomas has given up just 1 sack this season, came against Michael Parsons. But Montez Sweat and John Allen will give Washington an elite threat on the edge and inside. Allen in particular is an obvious mismatch against the Giants interior, and they didn't even name Deron Payne. I think we win this. List? What are we on this list? Let's just find out.
Because again, we're going against the number one. We're going against the number 1 blitz.
We're not 32nd.
25th. We are 25th.
We're going against the number 1 blitz team in the league, though. They're not. They're still going to be playing 5-on-4.
Right.
You know, I mean, keep it real. They're still going to be playing 5-on-4 because we're not going to see in 5 or 6.
Right. Yep. That's fair.
So I mean, it's make of what you will.
Marcus says the Giants' defensive line is good, but they're struggling really bad at the secondary level. Well, so that question is, fellas, is there anyone that we need to be watching on offense and defense that we've just kind of actually, you know what, before we answer this question, let's roll through the defensive players very quickly because Dev did mention something about them being a very blitz heavy team. So let's scroll down and look at the defensive stats here. No major return threats. The interceptions, they got Julian Love. I have no idea who that is. 2 interceptions and He's 2 other people with 1. Let's look at sacks. Dexter Lawrence. Good old Dexter Lawrence. 5 sacks. Good. Jihad Ward with 2 sacks. O'Shane Zimides, 2 sacks.
20 guys with 1.
That name reminds me of the Key and Peele skit. when they're making all the names, not Oshag Hennessy, but when you do all the sports teams' names. Yep. We have to go back and watch that sometime. Leonard Williams, a great pickup from the New York Jets. He's a good defensive lineman. I don't know why he's lacking this year. He's only played 8 games, but he's a good defensive lineman, and I think the Jets are sorry for letting him go. But as far as tackles goes, 84 Julian Love and Adoree Jackson. So Jalen Smith, their outside linebacker.
When your top 2 guys getting tackled, I mean, safety is one thing because they'll come up in the box. When your number 2 tackler is a defensive back, you've had some issues.
True. Look who it is. Oh, Fabian Moreau. The guy who fell out of favor with old Jay Gruden and never saw the light of day in Washington again.
But he is leading the Giants in pass defenses with 8.
There you go. Good
that
pick.
Just means he's getting tested, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Castro Fields. That's why I say Joseph Howe showed him.
Castro Fields is way back on depth, further back than Goose. And then Marcus says Castro Fields is on the IR. I didn't know that. Terrence says Dallas unfortunately showed how to stop Barkley. Couldn't catch nor could get a good break on the run. Yeah, that's the blueprint. Hopefully, if they've watched the Dallas film, just like they saw the film against the Houston film for Damian Pierce versus Philly, and they modified the running game to beat that. I mean, that just shows that they're actually paying attention and researching better. Joseph said, well, we had two different offensive lines, and the one Wentz had and the one that Heineke has. That's a true story. If you go back to our interview,
Wentz had a bunch of different ones. Luckily, we've gotten healthy too.
If you go back to our show on YouTube, the one we did with Jimmy Kemsky from the Philly Voice, he even had a graphic that showed the different line combinations up to the Philly game. So Carson, I want to say, I forget how many different line combinations that Carson Wentz has. And you look at the stability and people coming off of injury after that moving forward. It's been great. That's another key factor of how we've been successful in the passing game, in the running game as well. So yeah, that's the people for defense. Is there anyone you guys really on the lookout for offense or defense? I mean, I think the obvious ones are Saquon, right? There's nobody else on offense really.
I want to see. I do want to see if there is. I want to see their secondary versus our wide receivers. If their secondary leaves guys open, and we'll say this. One thing Scott Turner does well is especially off the play actions, he schemes guys into zone very well. That's why you'll see a lot of Taylor's passes Guys just sitting in the zone, 15 yards downfield, and just right. He's just got to put it in the breadbasket. You'll see a lot of those little, just loop itself in the way a Taylor pass does, right there, and the guy's wide open. He's not having to throw them open or anything like that. We scheme the receivers open. Taylor just has to find them. It's really, dummy proofing the passing game, and it works. It works. It's one thing I'll give Scott Turner credit as far as his passing game goes, is that he's scheming guys open off the play action really well. I want to see our receivers versus their defensive backs. I think that's a general matchup. I would love to see Jahan Dotson get some more passes thrown his way. I know I'm the same guy who a few weeks ago said, man, if Terry could get like 15 targets a game, I can't imagine what we put up. Well, now we've seen it. So now can we spread the ball around? Because
we just got to get Taylor to pass it to him. Because
eventually what's going to happen is this throwing, as Joseph Howell puts in the comments here, throwing YOLO balls into triple coverage. We got away with one against the Colts. We got away with one because of a ref against Minnesota. You can only live by that so much before defensive backs stop dropping interceptions. And I can think of 4 or 5 at least off the top of my head that they were dropped interceptions or our receivers had to make a heroic play.
Right.
So if he keeps throwing to the same 2 targets, we know he loves Logan Thomas. We know he loves Terry McLaurin. He's got to start finding some of these other receivers.
Well, if nothing else, they're gonna game plan for those receivers.
Yeah, but you see, here's the thing. I'm telling you, this is something that Taylor needs to do so Taylor can be more effective. All right. This is me giving feedback for him to be better. I'm not sitting there saying, well, we need to bench him because he won't throw the Jahan Dotson. No, I'm not saying that. But look towards Jahan Dotson. The guy was a first-round pick, and he's really talented. He still leads this team in touchdown receptions.
Yeah.
So almost no targets in the last 3 games.
So remember earlier when we talked about Ian Ron said we got to be better, and the fact that John Allen said we got to be better. So I got the clip. I'm going to show it real quick.
Oh, hey, it's a hell of a game. It's a hell of a game. A lot of good things, a lot of positive things, guys. But understand one thing: a little bit sloppy. We can be better. We got to be better. That's the truth of the matter. Understand who you guys are, who you becoming. Becoming a hell of a football team. The only way you can do that. Pay attention to the detail. Understand how important the little things are. And when you get a chance to finish the game, finish it strong. Finish it strong. A lot of positive things, guys. We're gonna learn from these things.
Listen to John Allen's comments.
As a team, I think we understand we didn't really finish the way we wanted to. Yeah. Defense, they had 9 yards in the first half, and they did all that in the second half. Yeah. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because when we win, sometimes it's hard to see the lesson because we're excited. And I don't want to dampen the mood, but we got to understand that first half we really show what we can do. Defense in the second half, we can't come out here and be sloppy. And I'll be the first one to admit I wasn't as focused as I should be. Offense, I know you guys are better than that in the red zone. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm calling everybody out because we got to be better. We play like that on Monday night against the Eagles. We don't win that game. We know that. Good win. We're going to enjoy it. Let's refocus. You know what I mean? Let's not have to have a loss to get ourselves refocused.
And that's it.
Right.
That's the key to the game. Never stop trying to be better. Never stop trying to be, work on your flaws. And that's one thing I know this team will do. They will work to be better. They will try to be better, especially Taylor. I know Taylor will work and try to be better. He knows, and he knows his mistakes. He knows he's got to be better. So it's just I'm glad to hear John Allen say those words because that's what a captain should say. He's saying exactly what a captain should say.
Can we point out though that 3 of Taylor's interceptions of the 5 he's thrown in 6 games that he's played, 3 of them we've all gone, what the fuck was he looking at?
Yeah, they were crazy.
There's at least someone wide open right in front of him.
Yeah. He knows. He came out in the conference and said, I got to hit those. I got to hit those.
Here's the thing. I want Taylor to play at a $20 million level. I want Taylor to be this Jesus Christ figure.
Taylor wins a playoff game. Does he get $20 million field?
I want him to be that way. He's not, but I want him to be that way. But I acknowledge he isn't.
If Taylor wins a playoff game, do you give him $20 million?
No.
What do you give him if he wins a playoff
Taylor,
game?
okay. Let's rephrase that question right there. Do we win the playoff game or does Taylor win the playoff game?
Taylor has a good game, 2 touchdowns or something like that, 250 yards. We want to play
He needs to start putting that up in the regular season on the way there too. I'm not giving him
What if he don't? What if he don't? But if he does it in the playoffs and we win?
No, he's not getting $20 million. I wouldn't give him eight right now is the ceiling. And that's if he doesn't, and that's if his play improves as the season goes on, the way I would like to happen. This right here. Maybe he has the magic. They keep dropping them, talking about the interceptions. Listen.
Maybe so he has some juju going on his side.
Steve can attest to this. Steve and I were at the Vikings game.
Beer man.
Taylor throws that ball that the ref helps us out on. That it was a complete quacker too. The ball was almost looking like a punt. It had no spiral. And Curtis Samuel comes down and he gets that catch. And I looked at Steve and I'm like, I don't get it. How does this happen like this? Right? I was just about to start believing. Maybe there's something at work that is beyond this earthly realm. And then he went and threw that fucking interception where he just threw it to 3 Vikings with no receiver around. And there was guys open. And then he did almost the exact same thing against the Falcons. This is why I say magic does not exist, people. Talent does. Is Taylor Heineke going to be a top 15 quarterback in this league? Never. He is not talented. He is that limited. Can you win with him? I have been saying this every week on this podcast since he took over. Yes, you can win with him with the exact game plan we have been running.
Yeah.
That game plan is not worth $20 million to a quarterback.
Another tidbit from PFF. The only quarterback with the worst PFF passing grade than Taylor Heineke is Zach Wilson, who just got benched. Heineke has a turnover-worthy rate play of 6.1%, almost double that of Carson Wentz, and the receivers have dropped only one of his passes. Every Heineke number 1 screams statistical aggression. If that happens, Washington stops winning games. I am confident.
Please read that slowly for the back.
I don't need to. It's there. It's black and white. It's on PFF. There's no need to dwell on it. Listen, we all want our guy to be better. And that's the bottom line.
Better.
We're gonna end up with Zach.
But he knows that.
Zach on our team at quarterback next year, anyways.
But does the fan base know that?
It's gonna be Taylor and Sam Howell next year, anyway.
It's gonna be Zach Wilson here next year.
Nah,
man, something stupid. I'm telling you, man.
Don't say that.
Dumb shit.
I even said I would be fine with bringing if Taylor plays well, which he has not been doing in the last couple games. He's been playing. If Taylor plays well going out the rest of the season, and we're talking about over 60% passing percentage, and no more of these stupid ass plays that these turnover worthy plays. Dropped interceptions. They're easy picks. They're dropped by defensive backs, things like that. If he can cut that out and become a more efficient quarterback, a Super Bowl ring. If he can, answering Monte question for those on the audio, what has Wentz won? A Super Bowl ring. They were 11-1 with him. But anyway,
he definitely was helping part of that.
Yeah. I mean, he was an MVP candidate when he got hurt that year. Now, back to my point. If he plays well, I'm talking about eliminate those stupid plays, get the completion percentage up so we're converting more second and third downs than the first downs. Give him $8 million and wait till 2024 to get a quarterback. See what you can do next year.
Right? I'd be like, what I give him whatever we have left after paying Payne. Like, we got $3 million.
Let's talk about the injury report coming up. So here's the injury report for status today. For those in the audio crowd, Dax Milne didn't practice, Benjamin St. Juste didn't practice, and Trey Turner didn't practice. They are all out for Sunday. That's a fact. Antonio Gibson was limited with a foot. Tyler Larson, it was full. Logan Thomas was full with the rib. Chase Young limited, questionable. So that's the big question at hand. Will we see Chase Young? Is the first question. And should we see Chase Young? Is the second question. For those in the chat, let's talk. Deb, what do you think? Should we see Chase Young?
For sure. I think you should. For one thing, Give him some snaps so we can see that leg with the rest week to see if it can hold up, see if we can get some rest, to see if it's good to go after one game. I'd run him as much as we can, actually, as much as the doctors show. If they say he only gets 20 snaps, give him all 20. Make sure he gets all 20 of those to see how that leg holds up. He has a week off to rest it.
Right.
Then that way we'll know. I would hate for him to come off the bye week and then have to go full speed. And then next week he's got a little fatigue. Let's see if he's going to have it with the week off.
Yeah. What about you, Phil?
You play him. You gotta find out where he's at. Even if you rotate him out more, just to kind of ease him into the game flow a little bit, especially early. Do it, and then if he's holding up, then you use him more as the game goes on, and then as Deb said, you have a bye week to kind of observe. Okay, where is he really at? And then if he's good to go, it's game on rest of the season. But you have to play him. You have to find out where he is at this point. We probably would be having the same discussion last week if he doesn't get sick.
You think so?
If he doesn't get sick, he would have played last week. I'm convinced of that. So I want this idea of saving him, holding him out on the rest of the year. No, you can't bubble wrap people forever. You have to put them on the field at some point. We're in the middle of a playoff run. All right. We are one of the hottest teams in the league, and you want to deny one of the best defensive ends in the league because you're afraid? You can't do things with fear. You've got to play him and find out where he is.
So I agree and disagree. I hope we see him, but I think he should get a 10 to 15 snap count. Third downs only, passing downs, no runs. Let him get to the quarterback. Let him get his feet underneath him. Get the rust off. That would be great. To go into the bye week can be good. But the inverse of that comment, I could also see if they want to wait one more week to get him through the bye week, but if that's the case, he better play some more than 10 to 15 snaps in the Giants game. That's my take on it. And I think it could go both ways. But Monty says Chase should chill. If he get hurt, he won't be a Commander. That's true story. If he gets hurt again, he's done. He is not. That is absolutely true. If he pops that knee again, he's done.
It doesn't matter if he pops it today or tomorrow. Then
that's true.
He can just as likely pop it Sunday as he could week 1 next season.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't matter.
Tony
says, at this point, he's good to go. He's as good as he's going to be.
Yep. Chase got to play Chase. Monitor snap count. See how it holds up. I think at this point, it could be mental.
Mental, yeah. That's what I think it is. It may be a little.
Monty brings up a good point. Look how good the defense has been playing without him.
And you heard Jack Del Rio's press conference. If you haven't heard that, he clearly put it out there, man, that he's going to fall in line with the rotation, and this is about the team, and he's got to play the right way. Without saying Chase Young's name, basically said, "Hey, man, these guys that are playing in a disciplined way that makes
they are locked in.
Everyone being successful. We can't have anybody out there being a tomcat,
Well, that was Chase's flaw last year before he got hurt. He said he was going against the grain.
More than it being Chase's flaw, because Chase is kind of a guy he's a born leader. Guys gravitate towards him. That some of that rubbed off on other players. You seen Sweat was doing it. You seen Payne was kind of hot dogging a little bit last year, man. Guys just kind of doing their own thing, trying to get numbers and sacks and make plays instead of working as a unit. Now you can see even, the backup defensive ends are getting their shoulders square and not turning inside, getting sucked in bootlegs and making plays like Williams did. Like, there's a lot of things that the guys that aren't big names for us are doing that maybe Chase Young, who has a big name, maybe wasn't doing because he relied on his talent.
Rotating him
helps
with that because it you can he's now on the field. You get him back on the sideline, you grab him by the face mask, and you're like, dude, knock that shit off.
Right.
Yeah. But you don't think for a second that Jack Del Rio doesn't have a problem doing that?
I don't think Jack Del Rio had a problem doing that, but I think that if Jack Del Rio, when you're not winning, especially saying that to your star player when your star player can just go in a locker room and say what he wants about you to the other players, kind of maybe hinder your coaching. I don't care if you are as storied or as long in the tooth as Jack Del Rio. If the man's voice in that locker room is Chase Young, then the worst thing you want to do is embarrass Chase Young.
Right.
No, because
you're a defensive coordinator. You're not a head coach.
Chase Young is coming back to John Allen's team.
Right. Yeah.
Chase has been a consummate professional. He's been cheering.
Right.
At least what we've seen. It's been great.
But this is John Allen's defense, right?
Yeah. Now. Joseph House has a great thing. If it's physical, sit him, of course. But if it's mental, you're only going to get through it by getting on the field. Absolutely. Right. And we as fans don't know what it is. If it's
play him on third downs, man. Just play him on third downs.
Yeah. Monty makes a good point. Could fuck up the chemistry, but you know what?
You'll never have chemistry until he gets on the field.
Look, man, I don't know.
We have chemistry right now. We are locked in. That's what I'm saying. This team.
I'm not going to Heineke my defensive end position. I'm not just going to give a guy the job because we're winning. Like I don't. Maybe I'm being a hypocrite.
You're not going to Heineke
the bottom line.
I'm not going to do that.
The bottom line.
Play the better guy.
You play the best.
I don't know if we're doing that at quarterback.
Players
and I'm being a hypocrite.
Times.
I don't know if we're doing that at quarterback, but. Definitely, at defensive end, I'm playing. And by the way, maybe we are doing it at quarterback. If Wentz was our first round pick, they would have went back to Wentz.
He hasn't been dressing.
Right.
I don't think he's still injured.
Yeah, he's still on injured reserve.
If he was a first round pick, though, they probably went back to him.
Perhaps.
Right.
Maybe.
I think. Maybe.
Butch Horseman, thank you for joining us. Says, I agree. These are the most two important games. Two playoff contenders play each other twice, 5 games left. Our head-to-head with San Francisco also looms large. That's going to be another big one after we get through the Giants.
Is your name really Butch Horseman? That's the most awesome name I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He's
Paulie says, rotate, schmotate. He giving up the edge, struggling. He coming the fuck out, standing next to me. Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is. If you're playing bad, you're done. I
hate this idea though, because Chase, one thing he did well was set the edge. He was one of the best. He was the best edge defender against the run last season when he got hurt.
Butch Horseman sounds like a porn star luchador or some shit.
Yep, that's like Phil said. Monty says John Allen's the captain. It's his team right now. Let's go look at the Giants injuries. So
look at me. I'm the captain now.
And
I'm
sure John Allen has had these conversations with Chase. You don't think these guys
probably doesn't have to. Prez doesn't have
to. Gary Brightwell, running back, limited, questionable. Joseph Ezeudu, offensive lineman, is out. Adoree Jackson, cornerback, is out.
Oh, God, that hurts.
Richie James, wide receiver, is questionable. Shane Lemieux, offensive line, is out. Daniel Bellinger, tight end, is questionable. Dane Belton, defensive back, questionable. Carter Coughlin, limited, questionable. John Feliciano, offensive line, questionable. Cordell Flott, defensive back, full practice, so he's good.
I don't know any of those guys.
Their injury report's huge. Darnay Holmes, defensive back, shoulder, questionable. Fabian Moreau was limited today, questionable. Leonard Williams, Evan Neal, and Tyree Phillips are all.
So Adoree Jackson's out and Fabian Moreau's questionable.
That's huge,
guys.
It's a big one.
We might actually see Taylor Heineke play like the way his fans think he plays.
I hope so. Let's go.
We might see this because there's going to be, I mean, look, our receivers should be getting wide open. If Fabian Moreau does not play.
Don't tell Scott that. Keep running it. I don't care how open they are. Just run it.
True. He still needs to run it.
Right.
Paulie says he makes $28 million. He's a first round pick.
Right.
Don't know we inherited that contract, right, guys?
Yeah.
It's not like we went out and paid him that because we just decided that was what it was worth. His contract's actually great because it's all this year. He has zero money, guaranteed money against the cap if you cut him after this year.
Yeah, you might be able to do better than that. You might be able to negotiate some cheap ass contract for less than $10 million. Honestly, you might be able to get him to push some of that money back for a little more in the back end for like 10
there's no
million
more
next year.
money. He's not owed any
Right.
guaranteed
That's what I'm
money in the
saying.
next 2 years. It's
That's what I'm
all
saying.
incentive driven.
Joseph Howe says, I think Chase has been very close with the group. I'm sure he knows what's expected of him in concert with his brothers. Yeah, he's been very supportive. He's been a great teammate on the sideline. It's been good to see him. And I'm kind of with Monte. I think it was stupid to sign Carson Wentz anyways. Not that he should have come to Washington. That dude was getting cut. But instead, we gave up a third-round pick, which potentially be a second-round pick. I get it. They were looking at a one-year
deal. That tells me that somebody else might have been involved too.
Exactly.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
If they cut him, someone else comes out and pays him 30. And watch, he would have
know.
balled out. And then
Somewhere else.
everybody who's saying, Wentz is trash, would be in these comments talking about how we should have gone after him. We should have signed him. We should have traded for him before he got cut. All right. I know that's how a lot of these people.
Phil, the fuck you talking about? We inherited, we traded for that contract. It's the same thing.
That's the same thing. We did not offer him that contract. Yeah. We inherited the contract when we traded for him.
Yeah, so you guys just say the difference. Same thing. All right, Commanders win if. Let's put it down in the chat. Commanders win if. I know we've kind of talked about this in bits and pieces. Let's just get it out there so we can get this segment closed out, wrapped up. Phil, go ahead. Commanders win if.
Commanders win if we continue to do the same things on offense we have been doing, which is run the ball. The game leans on the shoulders of Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. We win on defense if we don't get gashed the way we did against Atlanta in the run game. These guys are struggling to pass. They're going to lean run heavy. Saquon Barkley, I said this when he came out of college. He has not quite lived up to this statement, but he was, when he came out of college, the best running back I had seen since Barry Sanders. He's got that kind of talent. He's been showing it this year. So I am saying on defense, you've got to limit their run game, at least something manageable. Like we gave up 160 plus yards to Atlanta. I would say if you can keep the Giants to with their entire run game combined, Jones, Barkley, all of them, under 110, you're forcing them to have to throw the ball a lot more than they want to, and that's what you want. So keep them under 110 yards rushing total as a team, and on offense, run the ball, more ball control. Only have Taylor pass when he needs to or when you're really catching the defense sleeping. Other than that, you run. If Taylor throws, if we have a game like we did last time we played the Giants, that'd be great because we ran the ball more than twice as many times as we threw it, and we won.
That's fair. Dev, what about you? Commanders win if.
Same thing. Win the turnover battle and run. Take the ball out of your quarterback's hands, make his job easier when you do have to use him. Which is the formula probably exactly for the Giants. But I think that's what we want to do. Just run, contain Danny Dimes, make the first tackle on Saquon. He's going to break some. He's going to make some nice runs, man. He puts his pads on the same as our players do. He's a very talented guy. And Danny Dimes, and you're gonna have to sell out to him sometimes, and you're gonna guess wrong, and Danny's gonna leak out the backside. Pause again, but definitely some things like that are gonna happen. We just gotta have enough. I think we need to have enough offense to overcome that, and we need to put them in some third and longs, and we need to put some points on the board to make them want to have to pass the ball first. We need them to drop back and pass.
Right.
Not use play action.
Terrence says stop Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
Monty says run the ball, play defense. Big game for Forrest and B-Rob, number 4.
Yeah.
And
Forrest, man, he's come through the last 2 or 3 games. He makes impact hits. He sets the tone for the defense. I love that guy. He's like the Energizer Bunny to me on that squad. He's like the Heineke of the defense.
Yeah.
Marcus
says Taylor Heineke take care of the ball with timely passes, run the ball. Defense hit Daniel Jones when he does the RPO and contain Barkley. That's right. Make him afraid to keep that ball.
They don't do that anymore. I think the only team I seen do that was whenever what's his face is doing it for they just kept hitting him out of the backfield.
They did the RG3.
Yeah, but it was
2013
like before him, I think. But yeah, that's what they just kept doing.
Andre Shorter, what's up? Andre said from Facebook, gotta watch out for Jones taking off. Says I predict Heineke throwing 2 picks this game. Tony says the defense prevents Jones from being Vanilla Vic. That's right, Vanilla Vic. That's what we're kind of calling him.
I'll tell you what, Andre. I don't think this is going to be a bad Taylor game.
I don't either.
I don't think the Giants secondary is good enough to do that. Then again, he may just decide to throw it in the triple coverage a couple times.
Because they blitz a lot. That's the only scary part you have.
Well, Heineke does, if I understand correctly, he does well against the blitz because it forces him to be more decisive. Like when he has time, that's when weird things happen. But when he's got the rush on him and he's feeling some pressure, it turns the switch on. All right, where he throws a lot better than blitz.
So I got Heineke.
That was a Kurt Warner trait. If you blitzed Kurt Warner, you were conceding points because that arena ball style had made him so quick and decisive against the blitz that's how that greatest show on turf was great. Everybody just started trying to blitz the guy who they didn't think was talented, and oops, he's really good against the blitz. I think that's where Heineke's skill set does kick in. Not skill set, but that's where it forces him to be more decisive when he has to throw it to the open man. And he's not just get back there going, okay, where's Terry? Where's Terry? Where's Terry? When he's got time to do that, that's when weird things happen that are not good. I want him to be more decisive.
You're saying I need to play Heineke over your boy Watson this week in fantasy football. I have both.
I got Watson in one of my leagues.
I'm talking about our league. I have Watson and Heineke.
I don't know. I mean, off the cuff, I would just say
Watson. Heineke over Deshaun
Watson because Watson was an All-Pro for a few years. I would play Watson. That's a no-brainer. Why not?
He ain't played in 2 years.
Yeah, that's true.
There's people in this fan base who would tell you that Taylor Heineke's a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson.
Dude, I would give a limb of my body for that to be true.
You didn't have to give a limb. All you had to do is give another chance and let this,
Hey, I have Taylor Heineke in 2 of my 5 leagues. It would have
worked out. It would have worked out if we had Watson because they could just let Taylor run the show until you got here, and obviously it would have worked out. So it could have worked out.
Paulie said, Phil, you're on point about the blitz. Terrence says, hit that like button, hit the notification. That's right. Hit that like button, hit that notification on YouTube so you know when we go live or post a video. Joseph says, keep Jamin assigned to Barkley, Curl, Defoe assigned to Jones. That's a good strategy.
Curl, yes. Defoe needs to keep. He
can float. He can float.
He comes and Defoe. Here's a great thing about the Derek Force. He closes the gap between him and wherever the ball is really fast. Like once he knows where the ball's going, he's there.
Yeah.
I feel like Curl can't cover it downfield.
Paulie says B-Rob equals Luke Cage. It's a good comparison. He's indestructible. I'm kind of with you guys. You guys all kind of said it. My bottom line is contain Daniel Jones on the ground and Saquon. Make them beat you in the air. And we've been doing a great job with that. How many yards? Remember how many yards we gave up to Dameon Pierce? I think it was 9. That dude was on a tear. He ran for $148 against the Eagles. We gave up 9 yards. Shout out to Terrence. Did you see his mic'd up force? I did not see it. I got to go back and watch it, but I saw that he was mic'd up.
It was entertaining.
Dope, man.
Yeah, I saw that. Andre
so here's the question.
This is all over him.
Here's the question: over under professional wrestling moves executed by our defense. Do we get a third week in a row?
Man,
we had a gut wrench suplex against the Texans. We had an Anderson spine buster against the Falcons. What do you think we see this week?
Spear.
We think we get a spear? Get a spear on a running back?
I don't think we need any of those. Let's just play normal football. Can we get normal football? Well, the defensive line did go on the record and say, I think it was John Allen and someone else.
Sweat and Pain.
Yeah, Sweat and Pain were all going to pay a quarter of a third of his fine, and Ridgeway was going to pay a quarter as well. I mean, they said if he does it again, it's on him.
It's like the demolition. That's what we'll call it. Axel smash and what's the other one?
Oh, you gonna think we're gonna have a tag team move?
Yeah, Axe smash. And what was the other one that had 3 in the demolition?
Crush.
Yeah.
Crush.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go.
Gunny Man said Russian sickle. Beautiful poll.
Russian sickle.
Let's go into predictions. So leave us down in the chat, whatever you're on.
Did y'all
Facebook
see Iron Sheik, by the way?
YouTube. What?
Oh, yeah.
He had a picture and he has a Redskins hat.
Oh, yeah, that's old. That's like 5-6 years old, man.
Well, he just posted it here recently. I guess he went for United States over Iran in the Olympics. But he actually defected from Iran in real life. He had won a bunch of medals as a Olympic wrestler, and he came here and ended up playing for the Olympic team here and winning. I think he won a medal and coached. So he's actually a legit
team. Yeah,
he's a legit Olympian. So
I don't know if he runs his own Twitter, but it's hilarious.
He does not.
It is hilarious.
There's a documentary on him. They show the guy that's running his Twitter.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
It is hilarious. Terrence says 24-19. So I'm going to log all these. 24-19 Washington. From our boy Terrence. Mean Green, Eagles fan. Terrence has 24-21 Washington. Marcus says Zach Wilson won't work. Him and Dax Milne won't get along. Remember the Cougar incident? Yes, that's right. Russian sickle. Chris McDaniel from Facebook. What's up, bro? Says Washington wins if Washington doesn't turn it over and the defense gets a score. I think the offense stalls. I think the offense stalls and gets field goals. Belly to belly suplex.
Joey Slime on fantasy football in.
Paulie's saying 31-17, but you didn't say who. Are you saying 31-17 Giants? Why are you picking the Giants, man?
Yeah, good.
Why are you picking the Giants?
Radar.
Man. Marcus says 24-20 New York Giants. Well, I know you guys already made your predictions. 24-20. Not you guys, but I do want to show real quick, just so you guys know what Vegas is giving the odds this week. So the odds right now, according to Vegas, they're giving us a 1.5.
Pick 'em.
No, it's not really. I mean, the
3-point advantage goes to the home team, which is the Giants.
So essentially, they're picking us to win, but not by much. That makes sense. So 1.5 across the board, not bad. We'll take it. So when you're giving your predictive thoughts, just remember they're giving 1.5 with the over under of 40.5. So when you do your scores, 40.40.5 is the over under, and Washington at -1.5, so 1.5 point favorite. So let's continue.
On the radio, if we win, it makes us like a 76% chance to go into the playoffs.
76. That would put us at 8-5. It should 8-5. You better damn well be going to the playoffs with a high chance. Hell yeah. Joseph said, yes, it's Jamin's turn. The move will be the people's elbow. Monty says 35-14. Take command. All right. That's a big scoring game. Phil, what do you got? What's your prediction?
26-20. Good guys.
26-20 Washington.
I think that they'll run the ball enough to get a couple touchdowns on us, a couple field goals. We'll get in the red zone a lot. This is where Joey Sly continues to be good for us. 4 field goals, 2 touchdowns. We win.
Okay. Paulie says nobody better on Twitter than OJ Simpson.
Yes.
And if I gotta tell you what the F we doing, I know, man. I got you logged, Paulie. 31-17. The Commanders. Chris McDaniel has us at 19-14. I'm logging all these guys, so keep notice. Has 19-14. Washington wins. Our boy Tony Shiver says 24-17 Washington. Okay. Ev, what about you?
17-12 us.
17-12. You're going to take the under, huh? That's a total score of 29.
Yeah.
Going way under. Okay. I can deal with that. I am going to pick 23-18 Washington. That covers the spread, and that puts us over to 40.5. So that's what I'm going with. So this is crazy. Every single person in here picked Washington to win this game.
Crap.
How about that?
All right, man.
Usually there's a defector among us somewhere. But I will tell you, I sharing this from our Twitter DM group, I do want to share this. Check this out from NFL Live. This is just one show, Game Day View Live. These people, I know Greg Rosenthal. I don't know any of these other people, but they're all picking minus one person, the New York Giants to beat the Washington Commanders in New York or in the Meadowlands, which I think is that New Jersey or New York?
New Jersey.
It is New Jersey. In New Jersey this Sunday at 1 p.m.
Jersey.
How about that? How about that?
It's you know what? Here's the thing: are we good enough to win out completely? I think that's what they're thinking. We've won 6 of 7. We've had two 3-game win streaks sandwiched around a game we should have won. They're saying it's got to come down to earth a little bit at some point. The thing is that I think the Giants are coming down to earth before us. If we come down to earth, I think it's going to be against San Francisco.
I think we split them anyways. I had a split in the beginning of the year.
Paulie says if Jahan returning punts, if so, touchdown. Is there a plan for him to return punts?
Erickson's ass.
No, I think it's going to be Erickson again, which is fine. Erickson doesn't do dumb shit.
And we're going to have Moxie quarterbacks and Moxie kick punt returners for the rest of our Ron's administration.
Every quarterback and every returner will have Moxie.
Right.
That's a guarantee.
AKA be white. Then y'all need to understand this.
Oh, man. Blog. Just to recap here. Terrence has 24-19 Washington. Paulie 31-17 Washington. Marcus 24-20 Washington. Monty has 35-14 Washington. Phil 26-20 Washington. I got 23-18 Washington. Chris McDaniel 19-14 Washington. Tony 24-17 Washington. Dev 17-12 Washington. We did. It was unanimous, fellas. This doesn't normally happen. I want to say that. Knock on wood.
And we're still arguing.
We're still arguing. Yes, we dropped that big fat beat by Dev. They're saying don't trust TH4. Well, at this point, we don't have a chance. Tony says, yep, Humphreys, Milne, Erickson. The Moxie Trio. Hey, we do Moxie Mondays on this show. We win, it's a Moxie Monday. That's the bottom line. We gonna ride this train till the wheels fall off. Good show, fellas. Thank you, Paulie. We appreciate it. Marcus says, Dev, I hope Louisville gets the first win on Sunday.
Man, those jokes. Man, those guys are. Maryland whooped our ass, man. Maryland
L1C4 learned what fear the turtle means.
We're a basketball team, not a football team, but football's on the come up.
We're a basketball team, not a football team. We're terrible.
You had Lamar, you had Teddy.
Man, that was then. We've had a national championship since we've had the last championship out of this state. We can't even win a game now. Something is wrong.
Chris, tell him. Chris McDaniel says his brother's Giants fans. We better win twice. We need to. We got to. Terrence says, as always, awesome show, fellas. Hope to see y'all down the stretch. Fly, Eagles, fly. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it, Mean Green. And don't forget, like and subscribe to the show on YouTube. Share with your friends, your family, everybody else. We appreciate you listening. Let's go shout outs. Phil, go ahead.
Shout out to my boy Brody. He has his own company. It's been around for a couple years now. Backwoods Beard Company. I will rep these guys to death. They do great things. My ethnic beard is smooth because of the products that he provides. I do need to shave and shape it up. That has nothing to do with his products. His products, good stuff. He's got some notable clients too. But yeah, Backwoods Beard Company. You can find it, Google it, look it up. They even started bringing out cologne too. He's not paying me for this. I'm doing this because I love the guy. I love his hustle.
Sweet. Monty said, let's fucking go. Commander's great show, guys. Thank you, Monty, for tuning in, man. We appreciate it. Despite our difference of opinion, it's all love. We all love this team, man. This is what keeps us going, man. This is dope. Okay. Aaron Scherer says 2017 Giants. We just broke the mold. We kind of needed that just to keep the juju because I would like to say every time we're unanimous, it never works out. So, Aaron, thank you, brother. We appreciate it. Regardless, Marcus says, Corey Sanchez, the Sanchez, has been giving me the blues. LOL later. Yeah. Chris McDaniel says, definitely a great show once again. Thank you. Aaron, I hope you're wrong too, but we needed that because when we go to unanimous, we never win. So we love you, man. We appreciate that. Paulie says, is that a toupee, Phil?
Never. I am a big, bald, beautiful bastard. Thank you.
Yeah. Dev, you got any shout outs before we roll out?
No. Shout out to I don't have anybody to shout out to.
That's fair. Terrence says, shout out to the crew. Hit the like button. Like I said, we appreciate it.
Shout out to the docs who fixed up Dev.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the medical community that hooked our boy Dev up. Everyone that jumped in, we appreciate you. I'm gonna try to name everyone here real quick, but I'm
not herpes if it's everywhere. That's what I've learned.
Yes, herpes follows you everywhere you go. Paulie, Aaron, Chris, Terrence, Marcus.
You gotta say it like this. Marcus.
I'm trying. Marcus, Andre, Monty, Joseph. Joseph Howell's big contributor today. Good to see you, man. I don't think we've ever had you on here before, so thank you, man. You and Monte were killing it in the comments today. Butch Horseman, even though you're there for a hot second, we appreciate the love, man. Abita Turner, same with you on Facebook. We really appreciate that. So, Billy Stallings, also good to hear you from the very beginning. Benjamin Harlow, we had one other. Cody Jones popped in and out. Kenny Cumberledge from Facebook. But yeah, the list goes on and on. We appreciate you guys, man. Sunday, we'll hope to see you guys in the.
He ran when I gave him the finger earlier.
In the Washington Football Addicts group, we'll have the live thread going for Sunday. Believe it or not, fellas, I don't think I'm going to get to watch this game live, so I have the DVR queued up. We shall see. I'm supposed to be at a meeting with some friends on Sunday, so yeah. Yeah, I don't want to. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. People that obviously don't care a lot about football.
We scheduled an entire second Thanksgiving around this game.
We did. We sure did.
That's what we're doing. We're doing a second Thanksgiving on Sunday, and it's like, oh, we have to do it after the game.
Monty says, go to Instagram at Monte Montez, Monte Montez. Monty, we'll plug you all you want, man. Eventually, it's going to cost you. I'm just kidding, bro. Go check out his Instagram, Monte Montez.
Live dudes with Taylor Heineken.
See you on the live game chat. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate everyone. Peace. And hail. We out. Peace.